Hi, Junior 5. Hi, my dear students. Now, I'd like to ask you a question. Now, what did you do in this summer vacation? I think some of you went to Sharm Sheikh, some others went to Dubai, for example, some others went to North Coast, others went to Dahab, and so on, Hurghada, and so on. So I asked my question. Now, when did it happen? The time of my question. When did it happen? Of course, it happened in the past, right? It happened in the past. Okay. So, let's look. What did you do yesterday? By talking about yesterday, I'm talking about the past tense. The past tense. Something that started and happened in the past. Something that started and happened in the past. So what did you do yesterday? What do you think, this girl? What did she do yesterday? I think she went fishing, right? Exactly. How about that? What did you do yesterday? What do you think? Which answer is the best answer for that? I played computer games. What did you do yesterday? I read a book. Okay, can't you feel that I'm saying I read? I didn't say I read. Why did I say so? I read a book. What did you do yesterday? I ate an ice cream. So why didn't I use here eat? Because I'm speaking in the past tense. I'm speaking in the past tense. I'm using the past simple because I have already yesterday. Something that shows that I'm in the past. Something that shows that I'm in the past. As you can see, most of the words contain ed, like for example, let's look at the example here. I talked to my uncle yesterday, right? What can you see? What is added to the verb? ed, right? I saw a ghost. So here is an irregular verb, so that's why I changed the original verb see into saw. I felt sick yesterday, so I went to the doctor. Felt is in the past. What is the present or original verb of it? It's feel. Okay. So, I played soccer last week. Played. Play is the original verb. What did I add? ed. So I'm using subject plus verb, either regular or irregular, plus the object or the rest of the sentence. Let's talk about regular verbs. Yesterday I worked in the evening. Now, how to form the regular verb? Regular verbs, I'm using the original verb plus the suffix ed. Let's remember together what is a suffix. A suffix is a group of letters, okay, that we're adding at the end of the word. Okay? Now, we can add to the regular verbs ed, d, or ied. So when can I add or when can I use ed, the suffix ed? I can use the suffix ed if the word doesn't end in e. Okay? So that's how I can use ed. As the first example, wanted, right? Now, play, we added ed to play, the suffix ed. Okay, if we have the word or the verb ends in E, like arrive, so will I add ed? Will I double the e? No, I'll just add d to the verb. Okay, hate, hated, love, loved, like, liked, and so on. Now, if the word or the verb ends in y, as we said before, we're going to have two verbs in front of us, study and play, and then we're going to compare these words to the verb that we're having already, that we're asked for or to do. For example, play, I'll just add ed, right? It ends in y, but we have before the y a vowel, so that's why we're adding ed directly. I'll not change anything. But study, I have before the y a consonant, so since I have a consonant, I'll cross the y adding IE D. The same is for anything that ends in y. I'm going to apply this rule to any other verb that ends in y. For example, try. Is it like play or is it like study? So let's look. Try ends in y, and before the y I have a consonant. So is it like play or like study? Which one ends in y and before the y we have a consonant? Exactly, it's study. So I'm going to cross the y adding IED. It will be tried. It will be tried. Okay? Now, yes, one syllable verbs, CVC, okay, double the consonant plus ed. Yes, like plan, it's a CVC. I have as a consonant cluster at the beginning, P and L, right? This is two consonants or consonant cluster, and then V, vowel, A, and then another C which is N. So I'll double the N, adding ed at the end. Stop is the same thing. Let's look in here about to the verbs. Visit, ed, visited. Typed, type, it ends in E, so I'll just add D. Right? Carry, carried. Carry, is it like play or study? Let's look. It's like study because Y before it I have a consonant, so I'll drop the Y or cross the Y adding IED. Double the consonant and add ed, like stop. I have a consonant cluster at the beginning, ST, and then vowel O, and then P, which is another consonant, so that's why I'll double the P and add ed. But I have some exceptions, right? No reverbs. No reverbs are always exceptions. Okay, what are the exceptions? Repeat after me. Water visit happen, open, listen, iron. Water visit happen, open, listen, iron. Okay? So again, water visit happen, open, listen, iron. Water visit happen, open, listen, iron. Okay? Just save the tone. Now, use the past simple form of the correct verb. We didn't talk about the irregulars yet, right? So now we are talking about the regular verbs, so I need you to focus with me. We're having here on the two sides, we're having verbs, so we're going to use these verbs but in the past tense. Okay? Molly, a letter to her cousin yesterday morning. What do you think? Exactly, it's posted, right? Posted. Let's look in here. Last Christmas, last, past. Last Christmas, my granny a nice scarf for me. What do you think? Knit, exactly. So knitted. And I'm going to double the T because I have a consonant cluster, then vowel, then consonant. And it's not one of the naughty verbs. Thomas, the birds in the country. What do you think? Thomas, exactly, watched the birds in the country. Our neighbors, I made it quick. Our neighbor's baby cried loudly last night. And cry and sin y. Is it like study or play? It is like study. Excellent. That's why I'll cross the y, adding ied. Now, it a lot in my town last winter. So snow, exactly. So I'll add directly ed to it. Excellent. So it snowed a lot in my town last winter. Now, Jen, a cheesecake for her mom last Sunday. Baked, exactly, bake. And bake ends in e. That's why I'll add d directly to it. Roger Sue at her office yesterday. Exactly, it seems that he phoned Sue, right? And phone ends in e, so that's why I'll add d directly. Liz, delicious stew on a campfire last weekend. Liz cooked, exactly, delicious stew on a campfire last weekend. Now, John quite long for his computer to boot. He looks bored, so he waited, right? Waited quite long for his computer to boot. My uncle stamps at the age of 10. My uncle collected, exactly. Collected stamps at the age of 10. Mrs. Susan or Swan, her son's shirts yesterday. So what did she do, or what does she do in the picture? What did she do yesterday? She ironed. Ms. Swan ironed her son's shirts yesterday. Kevin at Pam when she saw him at the corridor. What do you think? What did he do in here? What do you think he did yesterday? Smiled, exactly. And smile ends in e, so that's why we'll add directly d. Peter, his sleeping bag in his rucksack. What did he do? Exactly, he packed his rucksack, his sleeping bag in his rucksack. Now, let's look at the irregular verbs, or how to form the irregular verbs. For the irregular verbs in the booklet, you're having like tables, okay, for knowing or memorizing most of the or all of the irregular verbs, because if you're having any, I'm going to ask you to memorize them. If you have any question, you can answer, okay, like go, went, eat, ate, take, took. Okay, the negative form. Do you remember do and does that we brought for the present simple from the outside? They are outsiders, as we said. They are outsiders. They come from the outside to help the main verb, right? Okay, we're having here just one helping verb. Just one helping verb. What do you think is the past of do or does? Exactly, it's did, right? So did is the past of do or does. So that's why we're using it in the past simple, right? Do you remember how we do the negative in the present simple tense? Exactly, we use the auxiliary do, not, don't, and does, not, doesn't in singulars. Present simple, We don't play tennis on Sunday. She doesn't study on Saturday. Now, the negative, as I told you, we're going to have an outsider who is did. Okay? Did will be in the negative didn't. So you didn't buy tickets for the concert. And also didn't needs infinitive after it, or needs the original verb after it. So please take a good care of that. So if I have didn't or did in the sentence, make sure that I'm having the original verb after it, either in the negative or in the question. Okay? In a past tense, we also use the auxiliary do, but now we use its past form, which is did, as I told you. We didn't play tennis last Sunday. She didn't study last Saturday. When you have to turn the sentence into negative, you have to take into account that the past is in didn't, the verb after didn't is in present, or the verb is the original verb, especially when I'm having ed or the irregular verb of the form. Okay? She wrote a book. This is affirmative, right? This is a sentence in affirmative or an affirmative sentence in the past. How can I change it into negative? She didn't write. Why did I get right again? Why did I use the original verb? Because didn't shows it all about the past simple. Shows it all, as if she's showing off of the whole past simple. So she is very selfish. Did is very selfish. She likes to be the one and only in a past simple. So that's why did is the only helping verb that we're using, and she doesn't like anything in the verb that can show the past. Did shows it all. Do you understand? Negative. I didn't write. You didn't read. He didn't study. She didn't run. It didn't drink. We didn't look. You didn't understand. They didn't jump. Okay. Write the verbs in brackets using the past negative form. We didn't go to school this morning. She, I have here not and listen. Who knows? Did not listen to the radio. Excellent. Mark not work last Monday. Last Monday shows that I'm in the past, right? So did not work last Monday. They not swim yesterday. They didn't swim yesterday, right? Now the question form. As I told you before, I have two question forms. First, the yes or no question. Second, the WH question. Now let's look at the yes or no question as I told you before. Now, did, as I told you before, if I have a yes or no question, I'll find yes or no in the sentence itself. Okay? If I didn't find yes or no, I will not use the yes or no question form. Okay? So if I have yes, she bought a CD, so I'm going to ask, did she buy a CD? Okay? But if I found she bought a CD and that's it, I don't have yes or no, so I'll ask, what did she buy? Do you understand? So let's focus on the yes or no question first. Now, as I told you, the outsider here is did, so I'm going to use it also in a question form. So, and did doesn't like, she likes to be the most important thing in the past. So, I will not use any other past form with it, right? So the verb will stay as it is. So did, then what is the subject? She, then by the verb the original verb and then ACD. To form the interrogative form in a past or regular and irregular verbs, we need the auxiliary did. We write it at the beginning of the sentence. Remember that when we use the auxiliary did, the main verb in the sentence stays in the negative infinitive form, right? Did he go to school yesterday? Did she arrive? Did I run? Did you break? Did he stop? Did she buy? Did it drink? As you can see here, all of the verbs are in infinitive or we're using the original verb after did. Answer the following questions. Remember to use the past tense. Where did they go? They went shopping. What did he do? He played, B, exactly, he played football. What did she do? She rode her bike, because this is an irregular verb. What did he do? He played the drums. Now, I hope you've enjoyed my session. I just want you to study the irregulars, memorize them, and you're going to have fun in our next session answering these questions together. Thank you. Bye.